Hi guys, my name is Trevor ILESLEY, teaching that there is another way through the dark night of the soul, depression and spiritual awakening. I want to bring up a really important point, and it's about happiness. As you know, I don't teach about happiness. I actually don't really teach about love and light. This face isn't love and light, but what this face says is that I know the journey, I've been through the journey, and it's been very tough. You are probably experiencing the same thing. A lot of you are saying to me, I've lost my happiness. Now, in the human way, we all believe that we've come here to have fun, to be happy. But as you know, a lot of you have tried that and you've had happy moments, you've had sad moments. So the world has told you as a human being that you must be happy. But quite frankly, there's not a lot of happiness going on, and quite a lot of people, and I would say probably billions of people, are not what you would say are happy. When this spiritual awakening happens to you, you're going to try and want to go back to being happy. But this is not a happy subject. The world is not in a happy place. If you are birthing as a healer, then you have a responsibility, and that responsibility doesn't say fun and happiness. So I had to get used to the idea that I needed to basically grow up for me to be able to explain and talk about spiritual awakening. You've only got to look at Eckhart Tolle. Listen, he ain't the happiest thing on the planet, is he really, you know? He doesn't teach happiness, he teaches about presence and stillness and within. I teach about the power of 3 letters, 2 words, and it's called the Be Me. It's about being me as it is about being you. So if I said, what is the meaning of life to you? As a human being, we don't know. But as a Be Me being, it's about being me. So the meaning and purpose to life is for me to be me as it is for you to be you. There is no happiness in this, but there is a contentment. There is a feeling of peace. There is a feeling of creativity. There is a feeling of meaning and purpose. A greater you, a greater self with greater thoughts. And let me tell you, it feels good, but don't be trying to run back to happiness. If you want happiness, go hit the nightclubs, go hit the bottle of booze and see where your happiness sits then. We are in very serious times. Life has become very serious, and the work that I do is also very serious. Becoming a messenger is a serious business. To become a healer is also a very serious business. For you to awaken is a very serious transformation. So you will go through this point where you've lost the fun and you've lost your happiness. This is normal. This happened to me. This is what I love when people come through and they speak to me. They think they're going through this crazy nightmare. But when they explain their story, I can turn around and say, yes, I know exactly what you're speaking about. Yeah, I went through that too. What makes me different is that I came out the other side with a whole new belief system. So that is not about happiness, but it is about a way through. I live in the kingdom of God. I love who I am, and I love everything on this planet. Before the transformation, I really didn't give a damn about any of it. It was only about self. So within my role as a messenger, I have the responsibility to be able to share this in whatever way I possibly can. It's taken a lot of work. I've had to learn how to do lighting, videoing, processing, audio, microphones, tripods, lighting stands. The list goes on. That drove me crazy, and there was no form of happiness there. But it gives me great joy when somebody says to me, Trevor, I understand, and you have changed my life. It took me a while to understand what is it I do. Am I a psychic? Yeah. Am I a medium? Yeah. Have I got a message from spirit world? Yeah. But I wasn't quite sure what were the effects. I wasn't sure how you, the viewer, was starting to understand what it is that I'm saying. That gives me great joy. That gives me more pleasure than going out and having fun. Now, when I'm not in front of this camera, I'm really not this serious. I'm crazy. I love life. I have fun. I'm funny. I take life not as serious as I used to. I don't struggle. I'm not striving. I haven't got that feeling within me that something is missing. That in itself is a beautiful feeling. To not have your body feel the pain is a wonderful feeling. That is happiness. But more to the point, there is a oneness, and it feels right, and it feels truthful. People say to me, Trev, why do you do what you do, mate? And I say, do you know what? It just feels right. And if it feels right, I'm going to carry on keeping on doing it because the message was given to me. It's taken me years to understand this message. So don't think for a moment that all of a sudden you're going to get it. I didn't, and I put this stuff together with the help of spirit, but it still took me a long time to understand it. You can listen to words, you can absorb words, but it's not until you put that into practice. It's like you want to become a healer, but it's not until you have healed yourself and then go heal somebody else, then you are a healer. Now, the biggest trick is this. You have been told that you cannot heal. What is the biggest business on this planet? It's pharmaceutical. That was taken away from us. They called them witches back in the day, so they killed the witches. But what was a witch? It was the woman of the village who helped heal people with their ailments, and it is as simple as that. She lived off the land, she knew about herbs, and she knew how to communicate with people. She was a midwife, she delivered children, and they all trusted her. But she was killed as a witch. Now, that is still happening today, and there's many healers in there that have still got that fear of what somebody will say. I once asked Spirit, why did you put me through all of this fear? And the reason is this. When you have absorbed so much fear, you get to the point where you are filled with fear. So then you have to heal the fear. Neutralize the fear. What does it give you? It gives you love. It's the opposite. But let's take that word of love away because that's a misused word. It gave me naturalness. It gave me a sense of maturity. I grew up. And the Spirit was almost holding me back, blocking me, if you like. That it was saying, Trev, you need to grow up. You need to take responsibility for this message. And trust me, it's not going to be about fun. So, if you're looking for fun, you've had fun. This is not fun. You are seriously needed if you are awakening. And beamism and the gift of Be Me is your new identity. You have to have this new identity because if you're a human being and you truly believe you're a human being, You will still be looking for questions and answers. So you need a separation. So you have to have the be me being that says, okay, in this goal of the soul, my aim is to be a be me being. Now, your be me being is going to be different to mine. But I understood my body. I understood my mind. And that changed my energy. And once I changed the energy of who I was into the be me being who had a message, who had responsibility, and had matured to the message, then I could freely speak. And I could freely speak without fear. I don't care what everyone is saying about me. Yes, I am going to be the man that says to humanity, human is the wrong word. And if you want to talk about illness, illness is called human because the human has become sick. That's why a lot of people, and I'm talking billions of people, are sick. You have to ask yourself why. Because they need a new identity, because the word human is killing you. So, don't seek happiness for today. Let something else mature into itself. And if you're finding yourself that you can't move forward, and you're finding yourself that you can't move on, then the time isn't right. Because, as I know, when the time is right, things happen. So I had to spend a lot of time waiting until things change universally by itself. You think you've been in control of your life. You haven't. Someone else has. And most importantly, your emotions have. Understanding your emotions is the greatest way to become a brilliant healer, because we want real healers. We don't want people that have read books. Your journey is important. Your story is very special. What needs to happen is that you need to reread that story. For instance, if I look back at my story and I'm in emotional condition, as I look through my journey, it's very emotional. If I then awaken and I start to go into the dark night of the soul, I look back at my journey and now it's filled with fear. Now when I look at my life as a be me being, I can see all of the steps that got me to be me. If I look at my journey through the eyes of enlightenment, I can look at it and say, do you know what? It makes perfect sense. And if you can get to that point where you can understand your journey, that it makes personal sense to you, then you can move on, because you can only move on with a level of consciousness. The first part of your life is being totally unconscious. The human is totally unconscious. The be me being is conscious. Find that. Feel the truth. Understand your truth, because you came here and you are special. You are just as good as everyone and anyone on this planet, but you can be better within yourself. And that is called the Be Me Being. My name is Trevor, and I'll see you on the other side.